Hi there, it's Rob here from the Gym Tin. I hope you're well. Welcome to this part 3 of our discussion about EPOC training. So grab yourself a pint of water, close the doors, let people know you're taking part in a relaxing session for you. You might be listening to this as a podcast in your car on the way out to wherever you're going, or you might be just enjoying it as part of your wonderful evening or day, wherever you are. Okay, so cheers, have a sip of water and hydrate. Okay, so if you've not seen parts 1 and 2, then have a look at those, of course. Let's have a bit of a recap, though. So we were looking at EPOC, which is our excess, the most amount, excess post-exercise, so after you've done some exercise, oxygen consumption. So the amount of oxygen you consume after doing exercise. And it's the amount that we burn after training. And we were looking at the reasons as to why this is really good for us. And this is about, doing some high intensity interval training for short periods of time and trying to increase our metabolism as a result of it. And it's massively effective, which you've heard loads of studies probably in the news and from people like Dr. Michael Mosley about EPOC and HIIT being really good for you. The reasons are many, and I've discussed these in the previous couple of episodes on this, but the benefits are that you can get training done in a very quick period of time. You can get a massive afterglow, which can last 48 hours after training, and it increases the amount of mitochondria in your muscles, so the amount of powerhouse that burns calories for longer periods of time, and your ability to produce and create energy whilst using your oxygen system. Okay, so there's loads of benefits of HIIT and EPOC training. It's time efficient, it elevates your metabolism, it helps you with your fat loss, it can help you with muscle gain because you're working on strength, specifically if you do like a HIIT strength training session. We can reduce our blood sugar levels as a result of it. So if you're struggling with type 2 or type 1 diabetes, really good for you, certainly type 2. Reduction in heart rate, you're improving your stroke volume from your heart, you're increasing the efficiency of your cardiovascular system. So all of these are brilliant things, and they're pretty much associated with the usual benefits of having exercise and doing exercise. Today I wanted to talk a little bit more about, though, a little bit broader, because we see a lot of people wanting to do long distance, long endurance work. And because they look at the somatotype of those people and they go, well, you don't often see a very overweight Tour de France cyclist. You don't see a very overweight endurance runner, for example, or a triathlete. So people then make up in their mind, they tell themselves a story that maybe that's the best thing for them. And do you know what? Genuinely, if you enjoy doing long distance endurance training and that feels good for you, feels good for your body, your joints, it feels good for your family life, it feels good for your work life, it doesn't leave you feeling stressed, then yeah, do it and enjoy that type of training because perhaps that's the right thing for you. But not an awful lot of people have got all the extra time that's required to be able to go for long distance training, and perhaps don't have the freedom and the flexibility of work or life to be able to do it as well. So this is where HIIT training can become really quite useful for you in EPOC training as well, because you can get some real improvements in your performance. So a lot of the strength work we were doing will be increasing your range, will be increasing your power output. It will be making you a little bit more sport specific, perhaps. The other thing we can do, as I said before, is we can balance our sugar levels a bit better in our bodies. So we're working a little bit on our glycogen sensitivity. So the way that our body's insulin is sensitive to our day-to-day, our stress, our work, our lives, our loading, etc. So if you do struggle with blood sugar levels, consider EPOC training and HIIT training because it's likely to be beneficial for you. With a caveat on that, of course, consult your GP before you do any form of exercise. It's going to put you under a lot of duress because HIIT training it's going to make you on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is easy, 10 is everything you've got. Work around that 7 to 8 mark. Also, it's proven that this is a great way of trying to reduce the belly fat on our bodies as well. Men tend to store fat around our waists and also around our shoulders. Women, back of the legs into the guts and around there as well, and around our vital organs. So there is proof to suggest that doing high intensity interval training does help with burning the belly fat, especially with a balanced and sustained diet. And also, you're fitting that into a short period of time. So be motivated to fit in a short workout in a very quick period of time. So lots and lots of pros there. The disadvantages of it, though, and that's where people will probably look more towards going for a nice long walk, etc., is that it does put stress on the body. It does activate your sympathetic nervous system. It's going to result in releasing more cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine, etc., into your body, which is going to heighten up your body's responses. It's that stress reflex. It's that sympathetic nervous system, that fight or flight response. And you will get that. You'll get a small amount of that from doing an endurance exercise, but you're probably working at a much lower intensity. So if you've already had a really stressful week, perhaps HIIT training might not be the right thing for you, because what your body needs is some rest and digest. And it's really, really important. We don't do enough of it in our life, taking time out for ourselves. And how often have you actually said to yourself, do you know what? I did that thing the other day and I felt really great. Why don't I do more of doing stuff for myself and doing things? And there's plenty of reasons. There's parental guilt, there's social media, there's everything else. But you need to make time for you, and your training, your fitness is really, really paramount to doing things at the right intensity at the right time. So listen to your body. It could be that you do need to increase your intensity for that period of time. So go in for some more HIIT training or EPOC. Or come back out of it and think, do you know what? I'm already stressed. I've already had a big enough day. Let's just do a meditation and a stretch session. You're going to get benefits out of doing both. And they're going to be more and more relevant for you, because that rest and digest might actually make you sleep better, which will help you recover better, which will enable you to burn more calories in rest, ironically. So actually, whilst people look at that amount of calories burnt at that time, think about the overall recovery period that your body might just be crying out for rest, where you could burn a similar amount of calories. So it's well worth considering it. So the cons of doing HIIT training, of course, it's not for beginners. You need to know what you're doing. You need to have some equipment normally to be able to do it. There's obviously a risk of of injury that can come from it. And like I was already saying, thinking about our sympathetic nervous system, are you already stressed out? Is this only just going to top you over? Is it going to push you into more burnout? Is it going to push you into feeling of insignificance or rejection or something like that? And if it is, again, consult what your body is doing and then have that plan for the week. So always assess when you're getting into that training, what is it that you're actually feeling right now? And do you need some rest and digest, or are you ready to hit that training? So there's lots and lots of positives and there's lots of negatives in terms of both sets of training sessions. For me, I love doing EPOC HIIT training. I love all of this type of thing because it's short, it's quick, it's done. I also enjoy teaching it. I see people get massive responses out of it, and they get some real changes in their body shape and their own positivity. I also see and train an awful lot of endurance runners and work on gait and body shape, etc. From that, body posture, how they work, how they train, and I love training all that side of things as well. So I can see the pros and cons of both of it for sure. I love doing 5K runs. I love doing not as much 10K runs, those type of things, but 5K is pretty much my bag. So I know my body type. I'm mesomorphic. I'm kind of more of that V-shaped, not endomorphic or ectomorphic. But if you're ectomorphic, being pole-shaped, you might find that going for long distance running might be better for you. You might actually find EPOC and HIIT is great for you. You might also find if you're endomorphic that all of it works for you as well. It doesn't matter. It matters to you of how you train and listen to your body all at the same time. So there we go. That was my talk about the benefits for all. Loads of benefits for our body: improving your performance, increasing your calorie afterburn, increasing your oxygen consumption, increasing your mitochondria of your muscles, the powerhouse of your muscles that burn calories at rest and also in recovery as well. But also consider your current exercise level. Do you need to get a trainer involved with you that can help you to do this training and loading your body appropriately so that you're reducing the risk of your injury and making sure you're not hitting burnout? I hope that was useful for you. I really enjoyed your time with me today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for spending the time with me. And as always, if I can help, please let me know. Did it live, #live, did it on replay, #replay. And always, cheers, hydrate, and stay well. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your time. Cheers. See you next time for the next one.